Hey, welcome guys. Today I'm gonna talk about endpoint detection and response, that is called EDR. So let's suppose this is a very much important issue in cybersecurity and for important cybersecurity best practices, you can say. So what is endpoint? Let's say so your desktop, laptop, tablet or IoT devices, mostly server, printers, those are actually called endpoints because these things are using by your endpoint user, right? So let's talk about what is EDR. So EDR is endpoint detection and response, is a cybersecurity process that actually gathers data, analyze data that collected from the endpoints like your laptop, mobile or desktop server as well, and the goal is to identify active and potential security threats, actually those threats that are not caught by the traditional antivirus tool, including different type of zero-day fileless malware attack, as well as EDR also give fileless malware attack detection or also monitoring compliance like your DLP, data leak prevention or data loss prevention, as well as something different like file integrity monitoring, also integrating all the file, is it malicious or not. So EDR has become a necessity for security teams as well as some organizations, big organization. So its job is to proactively monitoring, detect, and also sometimes most of the EDR provide remediation or isolation like contaminant. So EDR focuses on endpoint security and it should be a key part of your overall IT security strategy. Okay, so what is DAS? So the duty of EDR products are generally as follows, like you can see here, like monitoring, collecting each process, like I said before. Also it has nowadays EDR comes with artificial intelligence and machine learning. So it can be analyzing the behavior of threat actors that are not known, like I have mentioned, like 0 days. Okay, also it will remediate, also provide remediation as well as contaminant feature for different OS, like Mac OS or Windows or Linux, different type of Linux variation as well. So modern EDR system monitor, detect, fix, isolate cyber threats on endpoint devices. And one of the crucial advantage of an EDR is built-in behavioral analysis capability. Sorry, the tool analyzes the database of data collected from endpoints to identify unusual activity, automatically respond to threat, or neutralize the similar threats in future also. So let's talk about what are endpoint attacks. We are talking about EDR right now. So what are endpoint attacks that occur? So the all too popular ransomware phishing attacks that have been on the rise in recent times are endpoint attacks actually. So studies shown that 80% of attacks occur from the endpoints, from the endpoint user. And nowadays we are on users or company employees are in work from home or remote, doing their job in remotely. So it very much important to monitor your endpoint devices as well from your employee. For security perspective, like also some things like different type of laptops and tablets that will eventually give them the access to the company's network, server and shared folder. Once these things are is compromised, then your entire system could be hacked, right? So often small and medium-sized companies overlook this need for EDR endpoint security and become a prime targets of cyber criminals. So like I said, the importance of EDR, like cybersecurity will remain a high priority of this year, or it could be. So there is this very much importance of EDR, because you need to save your all the endpoint devices from your organizations, from your employee, as well as EDR provide on time, on premises, and with a SaaS production, SaaS based deployment as well. So EDR nowadays is a endpoint security nowadays becomes a most best practice, cyber security best practices, and it have in your organization is a great feature and great security posture. So let's say how it works now. Okay, so let's get back to my another screen. There I have mentioned some, I have drawn some basic diagram of EDR to understand how it works. So this is the diagram. So let's suppose this is your EDR you have bought from one of your vendor. Different type of vendor is available, like CrowdStrike, Sentinel-1, Cisco, Sophos, as well as Forti EDR. Different type of EDR have different type of capabilities. They provide different type of feature. So this is your EDR server. Basically it works on a server and agent based model. Also sometimes it can be agentless, but we will come to that in few minutes. Let's understand the diagram first. So let's say this is your EDR, you have deployed it in your endpoints like laptop. This is your laptop, this mobile, and this server, and these things are actually exposed to the internet. Okay, so you as an employee, you surfing internet, you doing work in your internet, like those things are actually exposed to the internet, right? So let's suppose you have downloaded a file, or you have go through some file or some website, and the extension called .exe is downloaded in your laptop or phone. Okay, so if the EDR is installed, EDR agent, this is agent of EDR. Like I said, this can be a server and agent model. So a low quality, or you can say lightweight agent could be installed on your server endpoints. Then when it detects the file .exe, every files it will detect, monitor the what type of it is, and then lets the file is .exe. So your traditional antivirus will not monitor or detect it, because the file .exe is a signature and it will not introduce the signature, so the file could be like ignored in your antivirus. But in EDR, endpoint detection response system, it will detect, because it has the capability of behavioral analysis like AI, I said. So it will monitor the file, and if it is suspicious, then it will directly inform you to the EDR server, and the log has been generated on your EDR server that in this day this user and this IP has opened this file, or have downloaded this file, and it will reflect on your console that threat has been found. And then your security analysis.soc team will get the response. Then they have decided to contaminate it, or go through for the incident response or digital forensics, what file it is, how it downloaded. So these all things happen through the EDR. So it can be server or agent based model, or it could be agentless model. But agentless model would not be like those robust type, because it will not collect all the data, all the analyzed data, because it do not have the agent installed in the endpoints. So agent based model is suggestion for the Gartner or G2. They have suggested that agent based model is a good solution. So this is the diagram, I hope you understand. So let's talk about another things. So you have talked about the how it works, right? Now what is the difference between an endpoint detection and an antivirus? So antivirus have signature, right? So they have some signature like some predefined viruses or malware. They have those signature and stored in their database. So similar type of attack could happen in future. They will detect it. But let's suppose it's a zero-day attack. Nobody knows about it, what it does and how it works. So it will not collect the data, or it will not it will not detect that file or malware or the virus, because it is on the based of signature, not a behavioral. So EDR differs from here, because EDR have the capability to detection through artificial intelligence, and it will detect. Also, antivirus do not provide a robust prevention system like contaminate the file or deleted the file. This comes to the EDR also. Also, antivirus do not have incident response system, like if you go future and you want to look up the file, what is that, how it works and how it created. So in that system, endpoint solution provide that also. Digital forensic also provided by the EDR, and it is not comes to the antivirus. Also you can next gen antivirus do not provide that also. And the best part is sometime nowadays EDR comes with next gen antivirus as well. So you have both of feature in one solution. So these are the things you should consider before buying an EDR for your organizations. So it should be integration with other security platforms like SIEM or SOAR, because SIEM is a log management tool. When your EDR detects any type of file detection, it will create a log to the SIEM through the SIEM, and you will in future if you go for the forensic, then you will get all those logs. So it should be agent or agentless, like I said. Operating system support like OS, Mac OS and Linux or Windows, as well as cloud support, system updates. Your EDR should be updated frequently, because it should be updated like for all the security best practices and security measurement, for updating the signature, updating the behavioral analysis and file contaminant feature. All those features should be updated. The scalability should be a big consideration, because if your organization could scale more of the endpoints, then it should be provide those, it should be cover and monitor all those as well. So contaminant feature contaminant feature contaminant feature also provide from this type of thing, like if any file has occurred, you should have to contaminate those file. Vendor support is important, because when you buy an EDR from a vendor, then in the vendor should provide the post-sale support. It could be annual, it could be one time, or it could be recurring cost. But vendor support, when you have any problems to maintaining the feature or maintaining or running the EDR solution for your endpoints, so you should call those vendor or email those vendor that we have this type of problem, help us out. So they should provide the support also, tech support you can say, for 24/7. Also sometimes some EDR has some steep learning curve, so those need some training as well for the employee who are first deployed the EDR. It also a great. So this is today's video, all about endpoint detections and response. Okay. So today this is all about endpoint detection. I was working on a project of EDR. I thought
I should provide a deep knowledge about endpoint detection and
So what is it, how it works, and what should be consideration. So this is it from today. We'll meet next time. Till then, goodbye.